Hello and welcome to another pregnancy update. I've been pretty bad making these videos over the past few weeks. So the last video you got from me was a 10-week update, and now I am 16 weeks pregnant. So I've had 6 weeks of not making any videos, so I've got quite a lot to update you on this time around. First up, I had my 12-week scan, which was very exciting. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I'd already had one at 8.5 weeks, but it was really nice to see 12 weeks and see how baby had developed. Alongside that, I also had my bloods taken again to test for Downs and some of the other diseases that they check at that point in your pregnancy. Luckily, they all came back clear. I've got, I think it's something between 17,000 and 1 in 17,000 and 1 in 20,000 chance of contracting any of those diseases. So that was really, really positive. It's one of those things I don't think you worry about until you're tested, and then you have a few anxious days waiting just to find out what those results are. So I was really pleased that they came back clear. So I've written some notes. Let me just make sure I mention everything I want to speak to you about. So the other thing I got back was my blood test results from my first set of bloods that were taken. The first set of bloods that I fainted at. Luckily, the second set for the abnormality testing, I coped fine. But anyway, the first set of bloods came back where they test your blood type, your iron levels, and various other things. And I've come back that my blood type is O negative, which is fairly rare. There's about 1 in, I think 7% of the UK population is O negative. My husband is O positive, so there's a good chance that our baby will be O positive. So what this means is that mine and baby's bloods potentially don't mix, they're not compatible. So I have to have an extra injection called anti-D. Something about the antigens in my blood or baby's blood, they're just not compatible, and they can attack each other. Do your research if you have this, because I might not be telling this 100%, but they can attack each other if the bloods were to mix, which is quite unlikely. So if you were to bump your bump quite severely, you'd have to go and have another injection. And they also give you an injection at birth, and then after birth they test the cord blood to see what baby is, and if baby is O positive and I'm O negative, then we both need another injection of anti-D. But so far I only need to go in at my 30-week scan or 30-week appointment and have a injection there, just in case those bloods were to mix, but it's quite unlikely that they will. So I'm not really worried too much about it. It's just another needle I need sticking in my arms, and we know how much I love that. So that was a bit of an update on that. What else? Oh, so in my local hospital, you can go and have a look around the facilities and meet the midwives, which I think is such a lovely thing, because I don't think you often get this in many other hospitals. So our local hospital is Bournemouth. So I went down there and we actually got the wrong day. It's every other Wednesday and we chose the wrong Wednesday, but luckily one of the midwives did show us around, and it was just the most incredible facilities. It's really small there. There's only the 2 rooms, but they're huge, massive, great big birthing pools. There's big beds that pull down from the wall, so your husband and your partner can sleep overnight. It was just lovely, and it just had such a calming, peaceful environment. And the only problem with that ward in Bournemouth is that you can't have an epidural and you can't have an assisted delivery. So if you're high risk, you're not allowed to have a baby there. Luckily I'm low risk, but if anything were to happen during labour and they felt that actually you needed some more support, they put you in an ambulance and they send you over to Poole Hospital, which has all those facilities there. So a lot of people tend to select Poole Hospital over Bournemouth Hospital, but currently how I'm feeling, I think I'm going to go for Bournemouth, just because I know I'm going to get really great care there, whereas Poole is very, very busy and you don't get the kind of one-on-one that you would do in Bournemouth, which is a shame, but it's just over capacity, which I know the NHS is suffering at the minute, and it really is showing there. And I've had some friends who haven't had the best experience at Poole. So I think we'll probably go for Bournemouth, but then have that option in the bag to go to Poole if anything happens, or if I feel in the day that, do you know what, I can't cope with this, I'm going to need an epidural. So we went round and looked at the facilities. You're not allowed to look around Poole because it's too busy, which is a shame, but it was nice just to see one of the rooms, and the room that I could potentially have my baby in, so that was kind of special really. What else did I want to speak to you about? Oh, so I had my 16-week midwife appointment this week, earlier on this week. That was really nice, and I got to hear the baby's heartbeat for the first time with a Doppler. You don't get to hear the heartbeat in the scans, which is something that surprised me. I thought you always did, but I don't think you do nowadays, or certainly you don't in the UK. So the midwife put the Doppler on my belly, and I got to hear baby's heartbeat, and it was just really special, and I just felt more emotional then than I had done in the scans. I don't know why. I guess because I've progressed now a little bit further, and belly's getting bigger, and it really feels like there's something in there now. Not that I can feel baby move yet. Hopefully that'll come in the next couple of weeks, but yeah, it was just a really lovely moment. And then she answered a lot of my questions, booked me in to have my whooping cough vaccine next week, which is optional, but they recommend that you do that, so I'm going to have to go and get another injection next week. And yeah, they were just really lovely. I haven't met my actual midwife yet, which is a bit of a pain. The local one for my GPs went off maternity leave, and they hadn't found a replacement in my booking in appointment at 8 weeks. And then this time around for my 16 weeks, she was off. The lady they have recruited is off sick, so I had a student midwife and another midwife. They were lovely, but it would be nice to meet my actual designated midwife, but I think it's 24, 25 weeks is my next appointment, and hopefully I'll get to meet her then. Or him then, who knows. I think that was probably everything that's happened over the past few weeks. It's definitely been an enjoyable few weeks, considering how sick I felt at the start. My morning sickness started wearing off around the 10-week mark. I still felt pretty awful, but it wasn't as horrendous as it was. Come 12 weeks, I was still feeling a little bit sick on and off, and that lasted for a good couple of weeks still. And to be honest, even now, if I don't eat, I do feel a little bit nauseous, but I just feel so much better. A tiredness has kicked in more. I do feel more sleepy, and I'm not struggling sleeping, but because I can feel there's more of a bump there now, I'm really conscious of not sleeping on my front because that becomes uncomfortable. And then the midwife said I shouldn't really be sleeping on my back, so I've been sleeping with a pillow and and hugging it, and that's helped for the past couple of days. But I think I'm now probably getting to that stage where I'm going to be a bit more uncomfortable. I'm still very small, but there is a bump there and a kind of a hard mass almost. Before it was floating, whereas now you can feel it's kind of solid. So that's probably the only niggles really. I've just been really lucky. I just hope the next few weeks continue this way and I enjoy this stage of my pregnancy. I'm halfway through in 3 weeks time, on Monday, so today's Saturday, on Monday I'll be 17 weeks. But I just can't believe it's gone so fast. I wanted to show you actually one of the scan pictures. I don't know what I'll get on this camera because I'm just using a GoPro, but this is my scan picture, my 12-week one. This was for a little frame, is from my first years, and they do some really cute stuff. So I'd recommend going there and maybe getting like a personalised frame for yourself, because it's just really nice to be able to frame your scan pictures. And I have my 8.5 week scan in there, then I updated it for my 12 week, and then I'll do it again come my next scan at 20 weeks, which is when we'll find out the gender. So in 3 weeks time you get to find out what we're having, and I'm so excited for that. I literally can't wait. I've got no inkling of what it could be. I kind of flipped either way, but currently I have no clue. So we'll see. So next update, I'll try and be a bit more consistent with these. They're certainly not going to be weekly, but I guess 20 weeks probably would be the next kind of logical time to do another update, and I'll be able to tell you what I'm having. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this enjoyable again and it's been informative, and I'll see you next time. Bye! I just thought I should probably show you my bump at this stage, and then I can update you every video just to show how I'm progressing. So currently I have a decent little bump, which has come out of nowhere really, and it's feeling more solid now. From the front when I look down it feels more like a pot belly, and today it's been the first day that I've kind of been confident enough to wear a tight fitted dress, because I feel like I don't just look a bit fat now, well I probably do, I now look like I have a bump. So yeah, there it is.